I look manic here, bro. This was me during the detox. I look like I just snorted a line off of a sewer rail. The big news. Supernova! Everyone loves it. Be part of a world record. All right, let's pause this for a second. First of all, holy world record. What's going on there? What makes it unique from all the other Supernovas or Smash Cons before it is they want this to be the largest ever Super Smash Brothers tournament. With a change of the name, it's implied that they do have a license as well, so, I mean, I guess Nintendo's blessing, or whatever you want to call it, one way of putting it, will likely not hinder them, or there won't be Nintendo in the way from prevent that to happen, to do so. You might think, well, hold on, how are they gonna do this? How is a tournament that, they had over 1,000 entrants for Melee last time, and I think they had over 1,000 entrants for Ultimate last time. I think maybe they peaked over 2K for Ultimate. And so when I first saw this, I'm like, how are they gonna do this? And they said they're gonna take the things to the next level. We're joining forces with Ludwig, YouTuber streamer extraordinaire who began the Smash community. Become a part of history, right? With every official world record merch for every competitor. You have my, I look manic here, bro. This was me during the detox. I look like I just snorted a line off of a sewer rail. Featuring 100+ player from across the globe. Melee Ultimate Rivals 2. They also are bringing back, of course, 64 Brawl and Wii U. Mario Kart World, the Smashies. Live shows Marketplace. Right. Dope times. So I thought to myself, well, how are they gonna do this? How are they gonna actually make this a world record? And then they dropped the bomb of the big twist, the big gotcha. And this is what I want to talk about right here. Post almost has 1 million views right now. Ludwig said, I teamed up with Supernova to make Melee free. It costs $0 to enter. I'll get to that in a second. The bracket, but we still add $10 to the prize pool for every entry. Let's make this the biggest Melee tournament ever. Also, I'll fly you out. If you're really good but can't afford to go, hit me up. Interesting twist on things. I think that the bigger part of this is this bottom part, and I'll get to that in a second as well. $10 a person to enter the Melee bracket. Of course, you still need to pay venue fee, which hasn't been released yet. No one knows what the venue fee is gonna cost, all right? So take all this with a grain of salt. But the main appeal here is if the venue fee costs between $80 and $100, Ludwig giving you like basically a $10 discount to join Melee. If you were already going to join Melee, pretty good, right? No one's gonna be against that. What will make this the biggest Melee tournament of all time is that all the other people who are going for other games, this is who it's directed to, right? There's also the branding of it too. I'm sure there's gonna be some people who, when they see the world record attempt, they'll say, you know what, I should go to this. It's gonna be scenic, it's gonna be a historic part of Melee. We'll go anyway. But the main people that are gonna be taking advantage of this is Ultimate players. That's exactly right. Ultimate players, the second or the highest people who attend this event usually, will go on Start GG. They will click on registration. There's a box that says what events do you want to enter, because you usually pay beforehand on there too. And you click Ultimate Singles, Ultimate Doubles, Rivals, whatever you're playing, maybe a side event, maybe RPS, and they'll go to Melee, and Melee is going to say $0. So everyone is going to be clicking it and entering it if the venue fee is already paid. Like I said, it's $0. And Ludwig adding in $10 for the prize pool of every entry essentially guarantees that there will be a prize pool of exactly, I'm gonna say exactly because you gotta read the fine print. I was telling people this yesterday, of exactly, oh look at this, tournament entry limits. There's a limit, 2560. Essentially, Melee is free and Ludwig is putting in a $25,600 prize pool. And the nice part about this, it says everyone $10, but I think the part I really like, the part actually which might be a lot more expensive for him, is this part. If you're really good but can't afford to go, hit me up, right? For Melee, who does this involve, right? This involves getting flights and hotels for probably the best players who wouldn't otherwise go, who are not sponsored, right? That would, well, or have a sponsor that wouldn't probably do it. That would be Triff and Nikki for sure. Amso is probably going to be going anyway, so that should be fine. But you have a lot of other players in the United States that might have not been able to go, and Ludwig was going to claim to do it again. But I would imagine players that might take advantage of this, there might be some Australian players or some Japanese players that might want to go, and he won't be able to cover everyone. But I would imagine there's going to be between 5 and 10 players who they'll be playing tickets for and who are all going to go. And the idea would be, you know, if everyone goes, it will be really, really good. In fact, every ranked player goes. If Plep goes, if the entire top 20 goes, then we really do have something special going on. You even have PPMD chiming in here and saying, Giga Chad, please enter Kevin, for the love of God, right? But there's InGen from Japan. There's Mo from Europe. There's Frenzy from the UK. There's I4, Feck. There's also a bunch of players in North America who might not have the means to go. So I am really wondering who is going to go and who's not going to go. Maybe you do qualifiers too. Hell, maybe I'll do an online qualify. All right, I just texted Ludwig. We'll see what happens. Anyways, there's one more angle of this that I want to talk about, and that's the fact that, am I bitter? I'm a little bitter. The reason I'm a little bitter is if you type in largest Melee tournament of all time, Google pulls it up for you and you see this lovely chart. I'm a little bitter. I'm a little bitter. So I'm gonna have to win Supernova to be the winner of both the first and second most entered Melee tournament of all time. And that's gonna be incredible, okay? I'm bitter for all my competition, is what I'm bitter about. Because now I'm gonna have a victory on both of them too. And it's gonna be great. But of course, EVO 2016 was actually the only event ever to have 2,000 people pay and enter and play. And in fact, and after you account for DQs, it was there too. Here's the thing. If a bunch of Ultimate players just click add Melee when they're registering, and Melee caps already at 2560, and that's all you can do, and it makes it so there's less room for top players to enter. And let's say on the day of, they all have their pools and like 700 of them DQ. Does it still count? Does it? And the answer is probably yes, because when we did the box online tournament, which had 8,000 people for the bracket, we had over 8,162, the gigantic world's biggest ever fighting game bracket, and there was a ton of DQs, as you know, but we still called it the biggest one, and it was still free to enter, so we still called it, right? And should we go back and retroactively remove the DQs and see what the real numbers were? Maybe we do that, maybe we don't. Point is, this is a special thing for Melee. It's really cool that it's happening. I just hope there isn't a bottleneck issue in terms of people who want to enter Melee, and then there isn't enough room because everyone's spamming to add it. Because they're going to want to hit that 2560 number as fast as possible to include it, right? Having the world's ever biggest Melee tournament is a gigantic selling point as well too. But once you hit it, no more people can enter, right? So this is the limit hard stop, and the question is, when they're going to have a lot of other smashers wanting to play Melee and enter this historic event, will Ludwig continue raising his prize pool? Is he going to go from 2560 to 3K to 4K? At what point do you stop, right? In any case, it's going to be a definitely historic event for what it is. They're also trying to do the same thing for Ultimate, which is interesting too, because I'm not sure how they're going to get 4096 without some level of Ludwig support on that, unless maybe they have another content creator, maybe they have maybe Moist Critical steps in, does something, you know, like that, continues to pushing it forward as we've seen, and Rivals of Ether 1024, which would make it, I think, the biggest offline event, tied with Coinbox number 120, I believe. Anyways. My point is, this is a great thing for the community. A lot of great things should come out of this. I'm just wondering what will come of this bracket, especially for the Melee sense, if anyone can just add it to the registration. I just don't want other top players to be kicked off as a result. But what I would do as a TO here is probably just reserve, I would reserve 100 spots, right? If you're part of the Melee rank top 100, you are guaranteed one of those spots if you want to go. And you reserve that spot until 1 week prior or 10 days prior, and then you open up those remaining spots for those people that aren't going. Plup is a great example. Plup's a unicorn. Obviously, he's not officially ranked, I don't think. Actually, I forget if he is, but even if he wasn't, right, he would still get a spot reserved for him, even though we don't know if he's going or not, right? That's how I would do it. But it's awesome. You know, Melee's never gonna get like the you know the true esports treatment from Nintendo, as we know. That's an argument that's already been, you know, reiterated over and over. There's no point in glossing over it again. But in this case, having someone like Lud or other content creators support it and make it so more people can go is always a good thing. Like I said, putting in $10 for entry, 25k prize pool, pretty great concept. Flying out those players anymore, even a more awesome concept. All in all, it's gonna end up being potentially the most prestigious Melee event we've had in many years. The only thing that would make it the icing on the cake truly is if Armada out of nowhere said, I will attend one more event. Long live Melee. Could you fucking imagine? I'd lose my shit.